352 apart. How would I do that?
300 plus 50.
And if it was the area model, we would write it just along here, wouldn't we? So let's do that. Because actually that makes it go in the correct order that I want to write the problems in. Now, I don't know if you remember this from yesterday or not, but this is just 3 small, easy problems. The goal, however, is to be able to do them in the 3 by 3 multiplication, not have to rely on these 3 small problems. It is a 2.
That is a 7.
We know that Mrs. Lewis sometimes can't see things very well, so go easy on her. Is that a 5?
Yes.
What's the smartest way to multiply something times 50? Okay, take the 0 out, then put it back in. So for now, for these first 2 problems, I want you to write all this, and we're going to work through it together. I will pull sticks to help with answers. All right, now you draw whatever you need to draw. I'm going to do the bare minimum. It's just easier. Okay, so I had someone in block 1, eyes up here please, that decided they were going to do these problems first and then just write them down. Now is that,
You have to check yourself. If you get that wrong, no.
Yeah, you could make a mistake in the small problems, but if you walk into 6th grade writing all this down,
It's just like a check.
he's just going to think you can't do it, right? Yeah. So let's try it in the big problem first so we can get in the habit of doing that and then check ourselves over here until we feel like we don't need to check ourselves anymore, okay? All right, so help me out. I think I'm just going to go with tables to make this go faster since I'm recording. So table 1, help me multiply 481 times 2.
2 times 1 is 2.
Okay.
2 times 8 is 16. Carry to 1.
Carry the 1.
4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9.
Okay. Now, let's go over here and check it. So everybody check it. Make sure table 1 did this correctly. We good? Yeah. Okay, watch me do X's and O's, please. Okay, make sure you do it that way. Okay, how about table 4? I'm going to skip around. Can you help us multiply 41 times 5?
You do 5 times 1, and that's 5. 5 times 8 is 40.
Okay.
And then so you put a 0 and then put a 4 on the top, so you grip 4. And then 5
Okay.
times 4 is 20. And then you add your 4.
So that's going to be,
24.
okay, let's see what it ends up to be over here. Okay, so Miguel, check your answer right here. Do this problem. Oh, you already did? Did you do it first? Don't do it first. Do this one first, then check it over here, okay? Does that seem like simple multiplication to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It just looks hard. Okay, watch me do X's and O's, please. So we're done with the 5. How many zeros do I need?
2.
Why?
Because it's in the hundreds place.
Because the 3's in the hundreds place, and if we're going to multiply times 300, we're going to put the zeros on there, aren't we? But we're going to do it at the end. We're kind of doing it at the beginning here, aren't we? Okay, so table 3, help me multiply 481 times 3. So 1 times 3.
Equals 3. Then 3 times 8 equals 24. Then 4 times 3 equals 12.
And? So what would that be? Okay, check it before you add these up. You good?
Yep.
Okay, now, I'm going to stop for a minute and tell you where I saw some mistakes. Is that what you got?
169.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. What mistake did I make?
You
9
forgot
plus
to add
3.
the 1.
Okay, that's a mistake I saw all the time. They were adding incorrectly. Okay? Would you like to know the main mistake I saw?
Forget to lay the eggs.
Nope. Yes, you're right. They forgot the 2 zeros. That's where I saw the most mistakes in block 1. Okay? They forgot the 2 zeros. They're not doing this, and so I don't think it was in their mind. If you would write this down, even if you don't want to do it, it's going to help you keep those zeros in your mind. Or at least write this much down. Correct? Okay, how do you say this number?
169,312.
Okay, let's go down and do the next one. Now, it's very similar, but we're going to go through it like it's not. Sound good?
Yeah.
How would I break 302 apart?
302.
Okay, write that down, please. So, technically, I only have 2 problems to solve. 481 times 2 and 481 times 300. Okay, how about table 2? Can you help us multiply?
You multiply the 2 and the 1. That's the 2 and the 8, and that's 16. You carry the 1, and you put the, and then you times 2, times 2 times 4, and add the 1, which is 9.
Is that what we got in the first problem?
Yes.
So we're not going to check it again. We've done it 3 times and we've got it right. Here's what I want to remind you though. Look up at the board, please. Go ahead and put your pencils down. Put your pencil down. Put your pencil down. Okay, when I do my X's and O's, I've got a couple choices. We talked about them yesterday. One choice would be to do X's and O, and then do 0 times 1, 0 times 8, and 0 times 4, and write 3 more zeros. That's one choice. That wasn't our favorite, though, because we have a chance of not lining digits up correctly. Do you agree? So the second choice when doing X's and O's was to X off those 2, then go ahead and X off the 0. If I do that, how many zeros do I write ahead of time?
2.
To stand for what number? 300. Good. 300. Okay? So we're ready for table 5 to help us with this one. Table 5. What do I multiply here?
3 times 1, which is 3, and then 8 times 3, which is 24.
And 4 times 3?
Carry the 2.
Right.
12.
And is that what we got when we did this in problem 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need to check.
So, see if I can add it correctly this time.
That's what I got.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let's say this number.
145,262.
Okay, so I want to turn it over to the next side. These are pretty tricky. This one's similar to what we just did, but what do we have in the top row?
1,000.
A 0, right?
0.
We have a 0 and we have the thousands place, okay? But let's look at it because I don't think it's that hard. So how would I break 305 apart?
300 plus 5.
Let's go ahead and write that down. So I'm going to do 8,401 times 5. And 8,401 times 300. Catherine.
Didn't you say yesterday when we have a 0 on the top, we just write the answer?
Yeah, I want to review it real quick because you're going to run into these, okay? All right. So, Catherine's thinking that this 0 up here makes it a little easier. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this one. So if I have 1 times 5, that's 5, correct?
Yeah.
There's nothing to regroup. So that means I'm going to do 0 times 5 next. What's that?
0.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What?
Okay, so 0 times 5.
No, I'm trying to do the 8
5 times 4, what's that?
20.
And 5 times 8
40.
plus 2.
42.
Okay, let's do it over here. How do you feel about it?
Good.
Okay, so what strategy are we probably going to use when we do X's and O's now? We're going to write a whole row of zeros, or are we going to cross off 2 numbers?
Cross off.
Okay, watch me. All eyes up here, please. Jonathan, are you watching? I knew you weren't. How many zeros do I write?
2.
If I make 2 X's, I write 2 zeros. Okay? Go ahead and try and finish the problem here.
I'm just gonna have to add it.
Oh, look what I did.
What did you do?
What did I forget?
It's not fair.
Oh,
Forgot to add my 1 in.
yeah.
Yeah,
I said to add.
you said it right.
I was meaning for the other ad, but yeah.
Okay, I still want to tell you something. Listen carefully. I still see kids regrouping in the wrong place. And I also saw kids erasing the regrouping instead of crossing it off. Please don't do that.
'Cause what
Do
if
it
you
like
mess
we're
up?
practicing. If we mess up, we've got to figure out how to find the mistake.
You can just go back.
Right, you can just go back and look. Okay, so how do I say this number?
2,000,000.
Everybody say it with them.
2,562,305.
Okay, I want to go down and look at this next one, and then this is the last one we're going to do together, and I'll let you work with the partner, okay? This one's, I feel like I want to rewrite